Oh, hi there. Welcome back to another Jedi Academy. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Ranger J 1999 coming at you. It's Saturday morning. It's time for another great panel of Jedi Academy. What is the Jedi Academy? Well, it's not from the movie. Stop thinking that. This is where we bring the best and the brightest of YouTubers and game changers together. And this is a Q&A show about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. If you have questions, this is the place to be. We got the best and the brightest here, and then we add sprinkle in a little bit of mental damage, which is me and the rest of the RSG crew. And so if you have questions, the way it works is you put your questions in the chat. Make sure you put question in front of your statement. We will scoop that up, and then we'll go and kind of go around the panel of all our different folks, and we will answer those questions. And so let's go ahead and knock that out. Before I do, make sure you give us a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already, if you like the content. It does help us get our content out there into the YouTube world. And check out our Patreon. All right, that's all the mechanisms. Let's introduce everybody. Scooping up your questions, monitoring chat. He's back, folks. He's been absent for a couple weeks, but we've got the troll extraordinaire, Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman.
Howdy.
Howdy, Dr. Finn. Do you have coffee? Are you ready to go?
I'm not a big coffee person.
Twinkies?
Donuts.
Donuts? Okay. That'll work. Also joining us, of course, you know him. It's your boy, Scissor Man Warrior. From Warrior Presents, Mr. Warrior.
Well, hello, guys. I apologize in advance if I cough and stuff. I will try my very dingdest not to, but I have a really scratchy throat this morning, and I apologize.
Just drink some coffee. It cures everything. Like, do you know if you're sick, Warrior, like with the fever, you drink coffee, you'll get rid of it. That's science.
I think it's just allergies because I've been sneezing like a madman the last day, and then my throat was super scratchy, but I talk for a living, so it's a bit frustrating and annoying.
No, that makes sense. You know, trust me, I have allergies. You don't have to explain to me anything. Many mornings when we're doing our lunch stream that I'm sitting there doing, achoo. So, yes, it's an awful thing. Also joining us from the Alliance show that you can check out Sunday nights in the early morning of dawn. So I try to be on when I can. Most times I can't because it's so damn early and damn late night. But you know, love him. Ramon is here with us.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. Ready to party.
That's right. And then last but not least, we have a good friend of mine. He's wait, I think we got another person. Let me look see. Oh, I see what you did there, you sneaky little devil. But he's from MC, the Mighty Chlorians. I've known this dude since I joined. He is awesome. He's been a guild leader in multiple of our top guilds, an officer in multiple of our top guilds, just an overall knowledgeable and good guy, Mr. Shields Ghost.
Hello there, and thanks for having me.
Glad to have you, buddy. I know you've been kind of more in the background because you're in zombie mode because you and your lovely missus just had a baby.
Yeah, he's been keeping me up at night, keeping me going at the same time, you know.
Hell yeah, that's what it's all about.
So I am drinking a Bang energy drink this morning. I usually do coffee on the colder days, but I figured I'd try something different.
Yeah, a little coffee warm you up, get the blood flowing. And then last, but he snuck on here without me seeing, all the way across the pond, who doesn't have babies, but he does have a bunch of sweary daughters, Mr. Mike Hunt.
Good afternoon. Yeah, they're one's with a boyfriend, the other one's at work.
Who has the boyfriend now?
Oh, dancing. Dancing's been with him for quite a few years. So, yeah. So it's me and Mrs.
Wait, she's had a boyfriend for a few years, and she's you need to better get them married. Get them out. Get her out of that house.
I believe me when I say that I have tried and tried.
I know.
And tried.
Yeah, all you can do is try. It's not your fault.
Or use a
That's
shotgun.
it.
What's that, Finn?
Or use a shotgun. They're pretty persuasive in getting someone to propose. I'm just saying.
That's no, Finn. God. God. All right, so go ahead and get your questions in. We're scooping up questions now. Finn is going to be throwing those in the chat here for me here in a second. And make sure you put question in front of your question, guys. It helps us scoop up your question, identify, because sometimes people don't word it right, or they use incorrect, punctuation and stuff, and it just makes us harder. So just put question in front of your question. While we're doing that, let's talk about what's going on this week. What is going on this week? Well, the Millennium Falcon came out. I will not be getting it. I have seen that it's a very OP ship, but that's okay. Because, well, I just am not changing my farming plan to get a great ship. I got too many stuff to work on, and I just made the point that I'm going to get this new Old Republic that just came out. I'm working on Scoundrels. I'm working on finishing Bounty Hunters, Range Troopers, all that in a bag of potato chips. So I will not be getting the Millennium Falcon. I'm assuming most of you have it here, if not all. I know, Finn, did you get yours at 5-star, Finn?
Indeed, I did.
Yeah. So I think I might be the only one that doesn't have it here. But if anybody wants to jump in and... Oh my God, I was hanging out with Mist and playing around with that ship. It's pretty badass. But nice little badass.
I tell you, it's kind of an issue a little bit. And it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. All roll into one big doughy mess. And this is why
you said doughy mess.
Is... Yes, I did. This is the ship that we needed to kind of balance the highest end leaderboards for the nightmare 5-minute timeout teams that we were dealing with. Because, I mean, even I had a maze team that it took people 5 minutes to beat, and a lot of times they timed out. But then I would, time out myself trying to beat their teams sometimes. And it wasn't that I couldn't win. It was just that 5 minutes isn't physically long enough with these teams when they're completely maxed out and built correctly. So this ship brings in that balance where everybody that has the ship can just chew through the next team. So it brings you back to that day of everything can beat everything, which was kind of where ships was before the whole mace meta, where everything could kind of beat everything for the most part. And so it's nice to kind of be back to where, you're doing minute and a half battles. And it's fun again. It's almost like running Rebels in Arena, Rebels just chomp through stuff, but you know how Rebels are on defense. They kind of aren't as defensible. So, it's not as defensible, and that's okay. I'm actually okay with it. I'm okay with, dropping to 17th place or whatever out of first. That's fine. I'm okay with doing, 4 battles a day or whatever. They're fast, especially when they're fast. What it's the gooey mess part is if you have the Houndstooth, then you are more than likely, on your way to get the Millennium Falcon, which right now is currently the most aggressive ship in the game. The issue comes in is if you don't have Houndstooth, you're now facing teams that have the unequivocal best offensive ship and unequivocal best defensive ship paired now together. So it has not only gotten less balanced, but now there are people out there that didn't have the Houndstooth yet. They were farming for it, and they didn't make it quite to, getting where they needed to. So they don't really have the Houndstooth ready. And so now they're facing people that not only have the worst tank in the world, but they now have an offense ship that's chewing through them and not giving them a chance to take out the Houndstooth. Whereas before, at least they had some optional counters that they would have time to take out that Houndstooth with some strategy. But now they got a ship that's decimating their side before they even get a chance to take out the Houndstooth. So it is beatable, but it has stepped up the difficulty for those who didn't have Houndstooth to another level. So it becomes even more critical. So on one hand, it's nice for someone like me and everyone on my leaderboard in the top, 30 or 40, because we all had Houndstooth. So it makes it a little more fun for us. But for everybody in the top 200 to top 500 that maybe didn't have Houndstooth, it is going to make it impossible for them to climb through teams that now have Houndstooth and Millennium Falcon, because that combination under Akbar is such a fast, and because if they don't have the Millennium Falcon, they're not going to get through Houndstooth. And by the time that they get the right combination and they're landing the right buff immunity and all, they're done. It's over because of the Millennium Falcon. So anyway, my thoughts. I feel for individuals. I'm sure on my free-to-play account in 2 years I'll have the Millennium Falcon, but I am worried about that on that particular account.
Mm-hmm.
It cracks me up. I went through our top 50 in ships, and in the space of 2 days, Mace has disappeared bar 2. And Akbar from a 0 representation is now a good 75%.
Crazy how one thing can change the meta.
Yeah, but for everyone that does have Houndstooth already, of course, it's not another Mace squad that you're going against. It is, like Warrior said, it is beatable. For me, so far anyway, it looks like the devs have done a good job here. They've given us a legendary ship, but it isn't omnipotent. It can be beaten, and yeah, and we're kind of given one of the best tools to beat it in Silencer, which is always going to outspeed it. So you've got options there, and I know I put in my ship shard chat, bye Mace, welcome back Geos, and I'm seeing a resurgence in Geos now, and a lot of people were working on Geos when they literally fell through the floor. And it's kind of a bit of a reward there for those that stayed on target.
Staying on target. Yes, indeed. Anybody else thoughts on the MILF?
Yeah, it's shows here. It's a super ship. Like Mike Hunt said, it is beatable, and I'm sure you guys and Warrior and Ramon will come out with some videos to show how to beat them, because that's what the community wants to see. But on offense, holy smokes, I got a 5-star with a Houndstooth, and I just ripped through every team on my leaderboard, and it's really easy on offense. And they hold decent on defense. They are beatable if you have Mike Hunt throughout his Silencer ship, which obviously is faster, and then mine would be Cassian's reinforcement ability to dispel, so you can get around his buff that doesn't allow you to attack him. So it's those are 2 different counters to throw out there against him. So awesome ship, though, very fun to play for sure.
Yeah. It's funny, when I was messing around with Mist, once he took his to 7 stars in his test account and stuff, and so I'm like, you should put all 3 Falcons in the starting lineup. And it was against the Mace timeout team. I'm like, come on, do it. And we put some reinforcements in, and I'll be damned if that ship lineup won and the Falcons did not die. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. It's just see all 3 Falcons, they're just destroyed. I was like, what is this? Is this happening? It is happening. Oh my god. So ridiculous. So enjoy your Falcons. I will not be getting it. Alright, we've got questions coming in, so let's just do this. Let me get ready here. Let me do this. Okay, good. Now we're ready. Alright, first question for Warrior is from Timio Ratio. Question, Warrior and all. Admiral Akbar's capital ship, MILF, Houndstooth / Biggs as third. Which one is better, Biston or Ghost?
That's a good question, and that remains to be seen. I know a lot of people in even Team Instinct that are insisting Ghost is going to be better, and their reasoning is that Ghost is faster, Ghost can hit through foresight, and Ghost goes stealth, and is really a pretty fast ship. So with that reasoning, it's pretty sound because it goes stealth real quick, and then they will target Houndstooth because the Millennium Falcon is also really fast, or they'll have to target Biggs, your tank, whichever tank you're using. But the issue with that logic for me is the counter really is the ships that are all faster than everything. I have a guy who runs the good old-fashioned Biggs, Imperial TIE Fighter, and Poe Dameron in his front three. And he can kill any ship, basically, other than the Houndstooth, before I even get a turn, regardless of my lineup and capital ship, because every ship he's got is over 190 speed. And so he does the two specials, and then it kills a ship, and then he's done. So he can kill Ghost before my Ghost ever goes, and it's down instantly. I'm down a ship. If I put in Biston, he instantly kills Biston, and I'm down a ship. So, like, that's kind of the point of the counter, is to cripple the opponent first before that synergy starts to go. So it really, to me, doesn't matter if you're doing Biston or Ghost, because if they're using that counter, a fast counter, it's a moot point. But for everybody else who's not going to use that ship combo, because that ship combo is lame on defense, you, I think, want a ship that's going to have more synergy. So with that said, I feel like, to me, that the Ghost has way more synergy. It has the call to assist, which can call all of the rebels, as well as, you can specifically target the Millennium Falcon, and the, assist potential is like 6 attacks. So that's a one shot on any ship, pretty much. I mean, I've seen the 6 shots kill Houndstooth. So to give that up to the ability to almost neuter the opponent's ability to land debuffs, aside from maybe like an unavoidable target lock, basically, them not being able to land their breach. I get that question like every day, like, oh, I can't land breach, but they always land breach. And I'm like, well, are they running Ghost? And they're like, yep. And I'm like, well, that's because of the Ghost that you can't land your breach. I mean, it's giving them a 40% chance, to resist that now. So anyway, the tenacity potency variance with Ghost is so much greater when it's out in play. It's got the call to assist. It can go stealth and protect itself, and it does good, and I mean good, damage. Under the Millennium Falcon, just because of the Akbar and some of the buffing I forget Advantage and how awesome that is as well, because I haven't had that in a while. But there's some additional buffs for reinforcements and stuff that come in, and mine hit for 97k on a basic. I don't remember my Ghost ever hitting for that high ever. And his AoE's hitting for 60 and 70k crit on everybody, which it always has, and that's just a solid AoE. So, a lot of people are hiding ships, like the Geos are hiding in the background, or, which you're having to hit Houndstooth, or maybe they're running, either they're running their own Ghost or whatever, and you've got to try and hit it, or they're running the XB, which is, stealth. And so when they're stealth and they're hiding, having the ability to do an AoE and just cleanse house without having to target is really quite important. Side note, with this whole Millennium Falcon situation, if you have the faster Millennium Falcon, you can put yours into, put the buff on it so it can't be targeted first, and then use your Ghost's call to assist by calling Millennium Falcon, and always target the opponent's Ghost, and it's a guaranteed death. You will do the same thing to their team. As long as you're the fastest, you'll be able to target their Ghost, and their Ghost will be dead instantly, and they won't even have a chance for their Ghost to assist. And then the other thing is so a lot of people use Ghost in the front three for the whole tenacity potency situation with ships. Another way around that, if you're not going to use Ghost, is to put the Houndstooth is your first reinforcement or your second reinforcement. because when the houndstooth comes in, he gets like a permanent, I think it's 25 or 35%. I think it's 25% tenacity to the whole team for the rest of the battle through your side. And that extra tenacity will bump you back up to around 40% chance to resist, which is almost half the time, which is pretty solid as well.
All right. Let's go to the next question. We'll go to Shills here. Question from Gav P. What is the best setup in Zeta order for the Kira stall team? I've got 7-star Kira, Big Z, Vandor Chewie, L3, Mission Nest, Young Han, and Childish Landino. Looking also for which way to gear them first.
Well, the Zeta on Kira is not necessary, though it is nice. I think the first Zeta you need is on Vandor, where his for his revive, I think, is the key Zeta, and the rest of them are just additions, depending on which 5-man lineup you're running. I have seen variances with Captain Han in there, with Big Z, Vandor, Kira, and then that it's always interchangeable. I went with the Zeta on Mission because she is super awesome with Big Z, with all the additional attacks and everything, and she puts up big damage. So I would say if you were to put a second Zeta on priority, that would be the one that I feel would be the second best. So those are my two.
What do you think is the gear order priority?
You got to have your tanks tanky. L3, you don't need. You want to get her as high as possible. Her Zeta is not super critical. And then, but yeah, it's a 3-tank team. So if you can get them to gear 11, gear 12, and then let the other attackers do their thing, you can bring them up slowly.
There you go. And someone else just joined the call, and I think it's King Felix.
Hey, how's it going, guys? How do I sound on the Zoom here?
You sound fine, Mr. Sneaky. I'll just come in whenever I feel like it.
Hey, Finn messaged me in the chat.
Finn, you son of a...
Well, I had to tell him to look at the old Skype chat because he might have been waiting for Skype without realizing.
And besides, no, you have to blame my wife because she went to go hang out with friends this morning and left me with both of the kids. So that's why I was a little late.
Oh. Well, we're glad.
Anyway, how's it going? How's it going, everybody?
Look, everybody, it's King Felix serving our great country in the United States and the United States Army in Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
That's correct, and I'm very happy it's a 4-day weekend.
That's right. You got
Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah, that's right. I do miss the fact that in the military you get days off like that. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, they give you a 4-day weekend. Damn.
Yeah, Friday, Monday.
What?
Beautiful.
Snap. Oh, snap. All right. Let me just add you to the queue here. All right. Next question we're going to go to Ramon. And this is from Laura Kelly. Question. What is the counter to the CLS Han 3PO Chewie team in Arena?
The counter to the CLS Han Chewie team in Arena?
Yeah, 3PO.
Well, I mean, Revan and Traya can do it pretty good.
Yeah.
But, if you're talking about like alternatives to that, I think that Finn team with Han and 3PO and Chewie is another option if, like, for some reason you don't have CLS, which I think you need to have right at that point. So, I mean, it doesn't so, I mean, I'm pretty sure, although I haven't I was about to say that, actually. I'm pretty sure, even though the some people may not have those teams, Night Sisters would be an option because they're pretty much a counter to everything in the game. And if you're going to run the Night Sister team, I mean, I'm personally more of a fan. I know you can kind of go either way with either running a SWGOH or Mother Towson lead. I'm more of a fan of the Mother Towson lead, especially for arena. Yeah, I would say a Night Sister squad with Night Sister Spirit would be the best route to go.
Okay. Let's see. Next question will go to Mike. This is from Billy Gunn, Mike, and the question is, what is the minimum number of 6E mods needed to benefit a pilot?
0. Oh, 2. It would be. Sorry, that was a bit wrong, wasn't it? Yeah, 2, I believe. I think the increase is, and it's a speed increase of 1, is for 2. So effectively, all 6 would give you 3 extra speed. That's my understanding, unless anyone knows different.
So 1's not doing it. You need 2.
You need 2. Yeah, that's the thing. You got to have enough mats to take 2 up. Right. So farming, lots and lots of farming, but that's not bad.
All right. Next question for King Felix. Going to throw your butt right into the fire, Mr. Sneaky Sneaky. This is from CalSec. Question: now with the OT Millennium Falcon in, how would you split up your fleet if you want to make 4 teams for territory wars? Well, what do you think?
4 teams? We barely have enough ships for that. For 4 teams, first of all, you got to keep Galactic Republic with Galactic Republic. Yes. For Mace. It's pretty simple. And then you want to use your new Rebels with Admiral Akbar. I say if you're going to swap out and make 4 fleets, you do it with Biggs instead of Houndstooth, assuming you have all of them. And then between Tarkin and Thrawn, you have to just split up Darkside.
I'd go Geos with Tarkin.
I'm a bigger fan of Thrawn than Tarkin. I just like the heel coming with offense up, but Tarkin works just fine too. And then you can run Empire, whichever. If you want to run Geos with Tarkin, then you can run your straight Empire with Thrawn. And hopefully we get more ships, and we can actually use all 4 of these fleet commanders in full.
Yeah, because with the Chimera, you can run the Houndstooth,
yeah, the heel is beautiful with the Houndstooth.
Yeah, Houndstooth with the, whatever.
Xanadu Blood, if you have it.
Or, yeah, with like a Silencer, or, there's a lot of different combinations.
I was a big fan of Silencer and Imperial TIE Fighter before the Millennium Falcon went up. That's what I used, just because it was fast and I got the control.
Yeah, I still use it.
Hey, it's okay, Ranger. I only have a 5-star Falcon, and I'm not getting any higher anyway.
Listen,
I just made it.
I'll be fine. I mean, I can get top 10 ships. I usually get between 20 and 10, and I'm like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, I hang out in the top 100 because ships drives me crazy.
Yeah, I mean, even in arena now, I'm like, 18, I'll take it. I'm good. So. All right, next question for Warrior. This is one for you, Warrior, from Jason Kunin, or Kuninen, I don't know. Jason K. Question: Warrior, do you believe the B-28 bomber could replace the Houndstooth as part of the meta with its Daze components to help mitigate the MILF?
Yeah, they can add a lot of ships. In fact, I've got a lot of hope for 2019 that it's the year of the ships, because up to this point, they created that huge thing, which was ships, and then they kind of abandoned it for a very, very long time, basically leaving it in the status quo. And it doesn't have a raid associated. It doesn't have a whole lot of ships associated. I mean, we've got literally less than 40 ships between the 2 sides. And so, yeah, I mean, when we start to theory craft different ships and stuff and like what we would need, there's definitely a lot of debuffs that they've introduced on the character side that they have not brought to the ship side that would really help a lot. there's not a lot of ships that do a lot of stuff. I mean, when you talk about buff immunity, there's only 3 or 4 ships that do buff immunity. So you're really limited in scope to, taking out certain ships, which is kind of why certain ships like Houndstooth is so problematic, because there's not a huge toolbox, so to speak, of tools to solve the problems with. So I'm really hoping that this is the year that they decide to build a raid either partially or fully around ships, that they expand ships drastically. I think they should be introducing 1 ship a month minimum to continue to expand the ship collection. And I think that they should put more effort and energy into it now. With that said, I don't want them to quit on the other side either. So that's a huge ask, because in the past, the reason why they have not done much with ships is because they obviously are expanding, and growing the other side of the game. And I don't really want them to stall that side either. But it would be nice to see a lot of those additions. And yes, with a new ship like that, they could reintroduce days or some other things that would really help, because if you dazed out all the other ships, Millennium Falcon's just going to shoot by herself, or whatever. So there's just a lot of potential. It would be pretty cool to see ships that, a ship that could fracture, that was a legendary style ship that could just fracture another ship. I think that would be kind of cool. They could call it like boarding or something, and change the name of it for ships. But I don't know. There's just a lot of cool things I think they could do. And I am one of those weirdos. I actually love ships in the game.
You're sick man, warrior. You're a sick man. No, I'm kidding. Next question for Shills. Let's see here. For her meta side question for you, Shills. If a new capital ship is on the horizon, which faction would you like to see? Well, this is to all of us if possible. We'll start with you, Shills. What is a new faction or what faction would you like to see maybe expand on maybe one of the factions? Maybe, what kind of ships or factions are you looking for?
If I had my opinion, I'd like to go maybe with another Empire or First Order capital ship, but we really need, if it was my choice, they should come out with one of each of the 4, so we would have multiple options to theory craft with, and have different team lineups. Rebels, it would be nice to have 2 Rebel capitals, and First Order Resistance, all that stuff. I mean, there's Resistance ships, but so the options are endless. If they just come with them, I'd take them all.
Seeing those A-wings and B-wings and Y-wings and stuff, can we get those, please? Thank you.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Those, and then they were cool. The A-wing came in, had all those buffs.
Yeah.
It was nice.
I'll tell you one ship I don't want to see is those slow-ass bombers from The Last Jedi. Don't bring those in. Oh my God. They're awful. They've just, no. Anybody else? Any kind of faction or ships you want to see?
I'm going to say the match will time out before the bombers arrive. But
you don't want Rose Chico's sister inside the game?
Yes, please.
I'd like to see the
Chico that should be in the game.
I don't know if this was mentioned. But I'd like to see like the Ebon Hawk and like some other ships like that. That'd be cool.
That'd be great. I like it.
Or Resistance.
I just want more. I don't really care who it comes from. The reason I don't like ships is because I can count them on both hands and keep going.
And your toes.
No, I have several more fingers than the average person.
Oh,
I was gonna say you probably have like 5 sets of hands at this point. So.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Breaking news: King Felix is a mutant. All right. All right. Next question for Ramon. Let's see. We got.
You sound so excited when you say my name. Like you sound like so thrilled.
Ramon, I'll say your name however I damn well feel like, and you'll like it, Mr. Man. Next question for Ramon! Gav P question. What ship composition can beat the new OT Falcon?
Didn't we answer this question already?
Did we answer this question already?
I think we've had like the same question a couple of times about the OT Falcon.
Oh. Well, damn it, Finn.
There you
go. Let's try this again.
I think Warrior touched on it earlier.
Yeah.
Sure.
So let's try this again, Ramon, from Billy Gunn. Question. Round the table, we'll start with you. Who are the 5 we will potentially need for the Sith Legendary in February for Malik or Darth Revan?
Okay.
Aha.
Well.
Aha!
This is an exciting question.
It really is, actually.
It really is. So I'm hoping it's Malik, yes. And I do think that we're going to need the 4... I do think we're going to need the 4 dark side. Well, not all dark side, but I think we're going to need the 4 Old Republic characters that we just got. So, I mean, obviously they're going to want to make it some sort of a quick farm. And we just got the ability to farm Dark Bastila and Canderous, right? So, I mean, I think the 5th, though, will probably be either Revan himself or it'll be – so that would be like kind of like the smart route to go for them, right? Because then that would require you to have the other 5 ready as well. So you'd have to like then for sure have, you know, all 5 Old Republic characters for the Revan event and then have Revan to get Malik. But, you know, some people have speculated maybe HK-47 or you know, possibly, you know, another dark side character. I can't imagine, maybe Treya, but I can't imagine that being the case. I think it would have to be, you know, either HK-47 or Revan. Those are the only 2 I can imagine to be the 5th character.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, it kind of.
I mean, who else could possibly?
There's not many other characters in the game that they're going to give you for the Old Republic content because the other guys are already used to get Revan. There's only 4 new characters that have been introduced. I mean, the only ones even remotely from that time period is HK-47. You've got Sith
I think HK's too easy. I think it's gonna have to be something that's harder to get. And I think, like I said, I think it's probably gonna be Revan because then it like requires you to you know get the.
They've shown that they're not opposed to putting in existing characters in events and making it harder, right? So what if, and this is kind of an if, they add the Old Republic tag to Assassin, Trooper, and Marauder. Now you have 5 dark side Old Republic, and they make it a Malik event that's actually a difficult legendary to keep on track with what they've done with like Bosk and.
If I can't get it because I didn't have Marauder, I'm going to.
It's been in game. We've said it before.
I know, but they make it to where you have to farm everything else. I'm going to lose my mind. Not only does the character suck, but his ship sucks too.
That would be an interesting twist, for sure. I mean, I could see that happening. It's not like you know out of the realm of possibility. I don't see them not capitalizing on all 4 of these.
I don't either.
Farming. You know, these characters that right now are just now finally free to play. They're going to probably do it very close to when they release the next 2 characters free to play. So, I mean, we're talking about probably within the next 30 to 45 days. You know, we're probably going to start to get word of it, maybe a kit reveal at an event. If they're going to do that, you know what I'm saying? And then they could also just not do it at all. And, you know, Malik's not even a part of the game. You know what I'm saying? Ever. You know, this is just all speculation, but I doubt they very rarely do things like this without some sort of a reason. There's always a reason that they released 4 more Old Republic characters in the game together, so close together like that. I mean, it has to be for something.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. I like your thinking there, buddy. All right, next question for Mike. We're going to go to Chris J. See, question: with Sith Month coming, do you think there will be a new Sith Darkside capital ship, or a new Sith Darkside character, or both? What do you think are the chances for all these? One of these or none of these? Mikey?
The hoping me is saying both. It's interesting what Warriors say. I mean, there's the hint that of more ships being introduced has been around for a while now. We got the droid tag for IG 2000, so that leans towards there, and more ships from that side. So, but everyone, I'm gonna go with both. We're just gonna get kind of like wowed by what drops. That's yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, and also the fact that we can farm everything at the moment, ship wise.
And if it doesn't happen,
well, that means that there's now a vacancy for a lot of newly introduced ships. That's what I'm looking at anyway.
Yeah, it's true. Science.
I think that we're also, just to chime in here, I just kind of add what's going on here. We're going to be probably getting a whole bunch of ramp up promotion for the new Star Wars movie as soon as we hit like midsummer to the fall.
Yeah, I think September. Well, no, October. End of October into November for the game, I think, is when you'll start seeing the ramp up for the new movie for characters, because they've kind of done that with the other ones. The only exception was Rogue One, where they had like before then tournaments.
But bear in mind that we're coming after two movies now that have not been so awesome in a lot of people's eyes. So I don't know. I feel like they're going to do more.
I think it's I think it's split on the fandom on those movies, because Last Jedi made an absolute crap ton of money, but it split the people. And then Solo didn't make any money. Split the people. Yeah. Some people liked, some people didn't. So it's like, oh Jesus.
There's also other content here too. We have the Mandalorian is coming, so there's probably going to be characters for that. And then we have this show, Rebels or not Rebels, Resistance.
Going.
It's going, but I mean, they're definitely going to probably put characters from that show into the game too at some point.
Maybe
it depends. Clone Wars too.
Yeah, we got the new Clone Wars. The end of the wrapping that up nice. I can't wait for that.
Yep.
That's the thing I'm most excited about, is that Clone Wars.
Same. Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, speaking of ships, I mean, Resistance will be a good way to add some extra ships to the game too if they add that new character, and
wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. All right, next question for King Felix from Mufasa Omega sign, or maybe he just wants to be Mufasa Omega. There you go. Question: Sup guys? What are your thoughts on the bonuses in Territory Wars? Do you think they should stay, and do you think factions should be circled back around with different bonuses?
So, I'm a fan of the bonuses as long as they don't overdo it. I think the banning characters was terrible. The least favorite Territory War I've ever had. So I like the bonuses. They're fun, especially when they use them on teams that aren't very good, like Jawas. But they throw in a little bit extra, for the guild to consider. I just feel bad for the officers because they have to come up with a new, defense offense plan every Territory War now with these bonuses. But it's something different, and seeing as how the Territory Wars rewards aren't very different from first and second place, it really don't matter. It's all about like guild pride in these days.
Yeah. Anybody else on that question? Okay.
I could jump in. Sorry, my mic was muted. The bonuses are fun. I think originally when Territory Wars came out, and for the longest time, they had the kind of the First Order buff, and didn't they have like Bounty Hunters or Scoundrel buff too?
I think so, yeah.
But it was really small. Correct me on that one. But that was for like the original Territory Wars. They always had those buffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
But and then they switched it. They did the Mace deal and the Dooku and all that, and I thought that was fun, but it was kind of planned, and then it was for like a whole month, so we kind of got to see it, get used to it, and then we could work around it, and then the officers, TW guys didn't have to scramble every time because we had it for a whole month. So I kind of like that concept where if you're going to do kind of a special TW bonus, that you give us plenty of advance notice as opposed to 2 or 3 days, and then let us use those bonuses maybe for a month or so. So then we can really get geared up on that and see how everything works. So that's just my opinion.
I like it. All right, next question. This is one specifically for our man, Scissorman Warrior from Decepticons. Question for Scissorman. Started a new account when you started your free-to-play account. What's your advice about the starter guild? It keeps moving me before I get rewards for doing the raids. Does CG need to fix this? What do you think, Scissorman?
If that happens, then absolutely. That's terrible that they would put you in beginner guilds and then have you participate in events and then move you prior to actually acquiring the results. So that's something that should be reported. And speaking on that, I know a lot of people that were watching me and saw that I jumped into an average sized, 100 million GP guild and said that was unfair because lots of free-to-play can't do that. And a couple things on that. One, I'm actually at a disadvantage. I can't participate in anything, so I actually handicap myself doing it. Mm-hmm. And two, anyone can do this. Like, nobody needs to be special. They don't have to be Warrior from Warrior Presents to look on Facebook for somebody who's willing to help them out. But back to the question, as far as your joining those guilds, it sounds like the game is either you're progressing too fast, which kudos to you if that's the case, or the game needs to work on fixing the system where you progress through guild to guild, because that seems a bit janky to invest time and then not get the reward. So I would definitely report that.
Yeah, that is very, very odd. All right, next question from Colton 2000, and we're going to go to Shields on this. Question: wouldn't the Ewoks make a good offensive squad against the Endless Troopers due to their cooldowns?
Absolutely.
It's going to be interesting who puts what on. It makes you think.
Absolutely.
Well, because you start thinking about, like, okay, so there's 4 teams who offense, defense, and I think I'm not an officer. I don't have to deal with that. I was like, where do you want me to put them? Right. I'm done. And now I'll go and get my tax in.
Yeah, just tell me where. I don't know how to do this math stuff.
Rangers, like, just point me in that direction, and here I go.
That's pretty much how I am. Like, okay, what do you need? Got it.
Yep. Kill this. To elaborate more, I think the Ewoks, you get Logray, you daze the troopers, and then the infinite assists, as long as you have the Chirpa lead Zeta. It's going to be cool, the buff team versus the buff team. Of course, obviously, we haven't tried them yet. Should be ready to go here in the next 3 or 4 hours, and then I'll get back to you on that. But I think the Ewoks can have a good chance as long as they're fast enough and geared enough to take out troopers, especially because Stark on defense does not do his buff and turn meter at gain. He does the AoE, so that kind of keeps the troopers slower out the gate than on offense. So that's my opinion. Mm-hmm. I think it'll be a fun match either way.
It's gonna be interesting. Shout out to my boy Mufasa. He is in my my shard, and I was being a little cheeky there. I know who he is. I just wanted to give him a hard time for putting the Omega sign next to his name. Because I can. Okay. Damn it, Finn, you and your notes. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Well, looks like we got another person on the panel. All the way from North Kakalaki, we got good old Maurice on here.
Well, a few hundred miles south, there's called a state called South Carolina. That's where I reside.
Oh.
So it's a good place to be right now. Okay. Yeah, sorry I'm late, guys. Rain kind of put a damper on my productive yard day, so just hopped in here late if that's okay.
I feel like we're doing the Alliance stream all of a sudden. We get T-Money in here. We'll have the whole kit and caboodle. But it's all right. Hey, you know what? Real life happens. Good old Maurice. You ready to answer a question?
Yeah.
Wait, why does it sound like you're on the swamp on a boat? What is that?
Swamp on a boat.
Sounds like an engine running in the background. Maurice, are you out there hunting fugitives?
Well, I mean, do you want to go to the next person while I try to figure out what's going on with the mic? Or?
No,
he's out there. He's out there hunting Burt Reynolds on the swamp.
Was that just like was that some joke that's been completely over my head?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 90% of our audience don't know who Burt Reynolds is.
Or have seen the movie Deliverance. So.
Way to start out strong, yes.
But they know the banjo music.
Oh no! All right, let's give good old Maurice a question here from Max Dog. Question: what are counters to Cure Team that don't require a meta team to be used? Ooh, good luck with that. This is what you get.
It depends. If you consider Palpatine a meta character anymore, I don't know. I guess.
I still think he's meta.
Yeah.
If he's not, he's right underneath it in the second tier.
Yeah. Palpatine and the shock mechanic is a good way to shut down the Kira teams. Any character with healing immunity. If you want to run Palpatine, you could run like Darth Sidious, as he's got healing immunity on his basic. That's going to prevent all the protection regains and the healing, all that nastiness that makes Kira so difficult. Just all you have to do is just try to get rid of that taunt at L3 and then do not hit L3 the rest of the battle. If you have a B2, if you have like a Zeta IPD, if you have, for this upcoming Territory Wars, you got Echo who's got an AoE Dispel. These are always going to be good mechanics to do. I usually personally use Palpatine. I'm trying to think of a non-Palpatine team to do so. You could probably use...
That's not meta, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. If that's the case, Imperial Troopers are meta. You could use Poe. That's Poe and Zeta Finn. You have to be careful with that one. You have to be careful not to... you gotta get past L3 with Poe. That can be kind of difficult if you miss that buff immunity. Mm-hmm. And just other scoundrels, actually. They're, use your Kira team. That's a terrible suggestion, but I don't know.
This is a match that never ends. God.
Bounty hunters can work well. It's just...
I think bounty hunters do fine.
As long as I guess it's more to do with understanding the mechanics of the Kira team and knowing who to avoid when.
And who to kill first.
Yeah, it's kind of like that old Royal Guard meta. It's like you get a character down just at 100% health, and you try to one-shot. Like Mission, you try to get rid of all of her protection in one swoop, and just swoop in there and kill her one-shot. That way, you kill her without activating Zalbar. Kind of like back in the day, you wouldn't want to hit a character under 50% health because it'd trigger Royal Guard. That's kind of what I do. So,
all right. Next question for Ramon. Question, what else 73? Question. How quickly do you think they will be releasing a counter ship to the grand and glorious Millennium Falcon?
Well, I think it's not going to be for a little while. The event's still going. So, it's probably going to be the meta for quite some time now. Bear in mind also that the Millennium Falcon is kind of like the coup de grace as far as ships are concerned. This is pretty much like as far as like the most iconic ships in the game. It's like it's pretty much the pinnacle. So I don't think that it'll ever not be meta. I think it'll always be a part of the meta. Even though they may add some other ships that are going to be counters or able to defeat that ship, I think it'll be kind of like one of those characters in the game that always gets reworked to kind of adapt to the metas to always stay at the top there, kind of like they do with all the other legendary characters in the game. They'll do the same with this legendary ship. But I think until we see another legendary ship, and it probably will happen at some point, I'd say within the next year, they'll probably have another legendary ship event. And it may be for a ship that adds synergy to, let's say, a new capital ship that we get. some point. So, if you're thinking about what could happen next, you got to think about what next capital ship may be coming into the game. And I think that the next capital ship that you're talking about will probably be either something around separatists or something around Sith. I think that you're probably looking at maybe a Grievous capital ship, maybe the Malevolence, maybe you get a ship underneath that. Like, what are the separatist ships am I not thinking about right now? Are there any? I mean, are there any ships besides like the capital ship? I mean, like, are there any ships?
Are you talking about? You mean like fighters and stuff like that?
Yeah, fighters. Yeah.
Well, you've got all the droid ships that you can throw in. The Vulture droids and things of that nature that were part of the separatists. Because they didn't. All their ships were droid ships. So, but you can use those ships and put them in the game. Problem is, like, they didn't have
pilots.
You know what I'm saying? So they'd have. Besides the Vulture droid, which you can use as a regular character, but that was the only one. The other ones were mainly just for later in the war for just flying.
Did Dooku have a fighter ship?
He
had a solar sailor.
Right.
He wasn't a fighter.
Yeah, it was more about getting point A to point B.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Asajj had a ship.
You can give Grievous a ship. You could give Magna Guard a ship if you really wanted to. All you have to do is put in one of the assassin droids that they already have in NPC role, and you can give that a ship. It's all about.
Wouldn't the Geonosians be separatists also?
They are.
Yeah.
So as far as that goes, then that would probably be the next meta. Then I think if you had a separatist-led capital ship, I think it would go back to Geonosians being kind of part of that, and maybe those ships even get a rework to kind of add to their viability. Like, even though they already are good in the game as it is right now, I think they could get even better. So that might be a possibility.
And Poggle could get a ship and make him actually viable for anything other than pointing his stick.
How dare you? All right, let's move on to another question, Mike, since you spoke up and it's your turn anyway. Let's get you a question here. From 1L73, Mike. Question, how quickly do you think they will be releasing a counter... Oh, we just read that one. Vestra Kai is the one I wanted to go to next, sorry. Question, with the MILF event introduced, Vader's capital ship, do you think this will become a 5th capital ship in the future? I'll become a Sith capital ship in the future, not a 5th.
Yeah, we covered this on lunchtime stream, didn't we? Finn pointed out that it pretty much states this is for the event and won't be available in game.
Do you think it'll become a Sith capital ship in the future, though? Do you think that they'll use this? Does this kind of hint for a Sith capital ship in the future or something like that?
Yes. Yeah. End of Feb. End of Feb is when Sith Feb kicks in, isn't it? So yeah, I think it'll have different abilities. I'm just trying to piece together what would make a Sith faction viable in ships, because it's almost there. And you've got the Sith ships have been used since ships arrived. Vader's awesome and still viable. Scimitar at the moment, not so much, but he still has a great set of abilities. B-28 bomber, it's got the days. It's going to shut down any kind of group attacks and whatnots. And that what's her name? Her ship is awesome once they're wound down. So putting together something for Sith Feb, yeah. No, I could really see that coming in.
All right. Next question for Mr. King Felix. Let's get your question here. From Max Dog, question: should I be farming Anakin's ship or Sith fighter? I know Anakin's is better, but could Sith fighter be needed for something next month?
Look, what you need to be farming is both. Okay? You can farm both of them with one refresh. And you need to farm absolutely everything.
Do it.
In this day and age, everything gets used for something. You have Grand Arena, which might have 2 fleets next time it comes around. You have Territory Wars. You have possible other ship legendary events. There's no reason to not farm everything. If you're looking about priority, I would do whichever one you have closest to done.
There you go. Let's see here. Back to the top to our boy, Suzuman Warrior. Let's see here. This is from our good friend DSP. Question: Is Chewie's raging Wookiee Zeta necessary? It doesn't help the ship enough, for my opinion, to be worth it.
Well, if you're doing it strictly for ships, then probably not. But it's a great Zeta.
Yeah,
but it's a luxury Zeta, meaning, when you're trying to decide who to put a Zeta on, in today's day and age, you can put it on a leader and affect 5 individuals, which is huge. And so every major faction leader needs to have their Zeta first for those factions you're using, in my opinion, before you start moving to those style.
Yeah, I mean, I did both Zetas immediately on Chewbacca. You get some benefit with ships with it as well. I think it's a good Zeta. You're right. It is not a loyal friend is more important, but for ships, you want the Zetas, man. Every little bit helps, especially in this day and age. Everything's so damn even. All right, let's see here. Next question. We'll go to Shields. This is from our friend Helenix. Question: I just broke above 4 million player galactic power. Well, congrats. For Grand Arena preparation, I will have to remove mods for my lowest tunes. How much GP is reduced by removing 6 5-dot mods?
Well, congratulations on reaching 4 million. Yeah, that plateau puts you in where you have to place the most defenses down. So I love, since GA started, I've been over that. So it's a challenge for sure. It stretches you on offense and defense. So be very careful in what you do. And I have no idea how much GP dropping those 6 mods are going to be. I can go and do that to show, but I don't think it's that much. Do you have any idea, Ranger?
No, I mean, I'm assuming. Well, it depends.
It's like a couple. It's a couple hundred GP per mod. You're gonna have to drop it off like 30 characters to make a difference.
Well, I know crew does more, right? So if you remove it off crew members, it drops more.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's. I don't know if it's quite double, but it's close.
Yeah,
because they're also crew members. But depending on how much you're trying to drop, you're going to have to do many characters to get down below a 4 million GP.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, crew's doubled almost. So if
you're going to have to dump a capital ship. Like you're going to have to take the mods off Mace, off Tarkin, or off. You're not going to take them off Thrawn, but you're going to want to go in with 3 capital ships and take and basically unmod an entire fleet.
Yeah. Yeah, just to make a difference. I think actually it was either on one of good old Maurice's shows, but they said that you can get maybe 250,000 if you drop mods on like half your roster of your unneeded roster. So it's a lot. It's a lot of work for a little bit of GP. But being at 4 million, you're going to be facing other members that are or other players that are just at 4 million as well. So they don't have a particular advantage over you, because they're testing new waters or they've been just there. It's still a struggle for them just as well. So I think it's pretty even playing field.
So far in my experience, the Grand Arena matchmaking has been far superior than Territory Wars.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Well, I think it's a little bit easier because there's so many players that you can get really close to people with the same GP, right? And then they can filter things based off other stuff. Territory wars, there still is a little bit disparity between, those top 10 guilds and overall GP, and it makes a difference.
Yeah, that's because with the guilds, there's that handful at the top that really only those can match with, but you can't just keep doing the same guilds matched up over and over. So if you get stuck with the highest guild and you don't deserve to be, just take the L for the week and move on.
Yeah.
Oh my! I remember once we got into the when my guild first got into the top 10. Man, they put us through the freaking ringer that we had to face the 3 PI guild, Wallet Warriors. It was just, and then the other MC guild that was MC1, which is higher than us, like all back to back. We just freaking got. It was a rough couple months there, but it was fun.
Congratulations, you're in the top 10. Now you die.
Now you die.
Yeah.
Thank you for contributing to Warrior Zetas.
Yes, Warrior. Now Warrior has one more Zeta than you. Warrior's like, yep, pretty much, yeah. All right, next question. We'll go back to South Kakalaki's finest, Mr. Good Old Maurice. And we've got a question from Ziglet. Question: in getting Rebels for Fleet, which order would you prioritize? Ghost, Phantom, Cassian's Ewing, Biston's Ewing, or Wedge? Thanks.
Well, did you say South Carolina's fattest?
Finest. Well, are
no,
you?
okay.
I'm pretty sure you're not the fattest. I'm
clearly stalling while I think about this answer. Okay, I'm sorry.
So, I know for a fact that Good Old Maurice that you're not fat because you were shaking your rum shaker for us on the charity stream.
I think, thank you, Ranger. I think Millennium Falcon's going to be clearly your first, and Han and Chewie are the best, like pilots just all around gear-wise. So you want to do them regardless if you get 5 or 6 star, 7-star, whatever ship you get, do Han and Chewie. And then I would say, I don't feel the Omegas are really that beneficial on those Phoenix ships unless you go like all in on them. Like if you have Gear 11 plus Phoenix, maybe a Zeta or 2, then you can consider decking those ships out. If not, Phantom, you definitely want the reinforcement ability. They're very good ships. If you don't have the Phoenix, is it worth gearing them up for this meta? I don't know. I mean, ask the tens of thousands of players, hundreds of thousands that have geared up all these Mace fleets, and they got like a month or 2 out of the meta with them, until it was overrun by these rebels. So you got to be. It's tough. It's tough to suggest doing Phoenix and then you do them, and then 2 months from now everyone has this B-28 bomber and just just taking the rebel fleets to town. So. I don't know.
Cassian Ewing for me is one I would go for because that ship is incredible. It is one of my favorite ships now. I absolutely love it off the bench. It is one of the best reinforcement ships, and it does everything. It calls to assist. It stealths the other person in case they're in trouble. It removes debuffs. It target locks. When it comes in, it removes all their buffs. It's like that ship is disgusting. It is the MVP of reinforcements, in my opinion. I mean,
that ship uses the Rogue One, which you need for light side territory. But I personally think Biston and Scarifo Pathfinder ship is amazing.
It's a good ship too.
But those are characters they're not really required. They're good. Well, Scarifo Pathfinder's good, but that's a hard gear. That's a Kenobi-like gear, and that's not very feasible for the masses to have a Gear 12, 750 Carboni Scarecrow Pathfinders laying around for ships. So,
speak for yourself, good old Maurice.
Oh,
I love Scarecrow Pathfinder.
I hate K2SO. He's a Gear 9 and he'll stay there.
Oh, he sucks. Scarecrow Pathfinder is way better than K2SO. He's terrible, but then you probably have Biggs and Wedge pre-developed. Those are if you played a while, so you probably have them.
I played for a couple months.
Yeah. I'm just speaking to the masses. Wedge has a very, very good reinforcement ability. If if you're having trouble with certain mace fleets or houndstooth, that can be very handy. Come in off the bench, immediately put buff immunity, and then just blast houndstooth out of the sky with all these assists and stuff the Han and Akbar bring. So.
Right. What does Warrior think? Because everyone is going crazy in chat saying Warrior's probably just sitting there yelling, "Ghost, Ghost, get Ghost."
Yeah, so totally disagree for sure, and I don't mean to be disrespectful on that, but since
you are. I'm leaving.
I think Ships 2.0 was February, maybe March. I don't know, but it was like a year ago. But the first thing I said to everybody was Akbar Rebels, Akbar Rebels, Akbar Rebels. I told everyone that, and I have a lot of people that ran that for a very long time, including just up until the last couple of months. And I told everybody the second best, in my opinion, is actually Geos, which I felt like were better than Rebels, but I felt like Rebels were going to have more long-term viability. And so, people leaned more into the Rebels. I have used Rebel ships in some capacity, including the Phoenix Rebel ships, both of them, in every major meta change, from the Geos under Akbar to the Geos under Tarkin, to the Geos with Houndstooth, to the WTF fleet, to the Mace fleet, to every fleet that's come out. I have used them. Ghost is one of the top 5 best ships in the game. If you don't use it at max capacity, then you don't understand the value. But once you level it up and use it, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. I see the value on both offense and defense. Makes a lot of sense. So it's and Phantom too has one of the top 3 best reinforcements in the entire game. And so to not have the synergy of those 2 ships maxed out is just crazy. It's like Mission and Zalbar. Everybody's like, oh, they're amazing together. They're just insanely, OP together. That's, peanut butter and jelly, right? Well, Phantom 2 and Ghost are a pair, a duo that are insane with any ships that you use, which means that doesn't matter what the meta is. You get to plug those 2 in, and you're going to have instant synergy on any team. But right now, those who chose to go Rebels early on, like I had suggested, are now being rewarded extra, because they now have ships that are stronger than they were yesterday. But they were still exceptionally strong yesterday, and I know they'll be exceptionally strong tomorrow. So those are 2 ships that the free-to-play have access to, in the sense of the pilots are the first pilots that you guys are going to gear up. And those are the first 2 ships you should really go for. And I feel like ignoring those ships is to your detriment if you want crystals in the arena.
I feel like I just feel like we just got Adam Sandlered by Warriors. I was like, Mortal Kombat's the best game. I think Mortal Kombat is a great game, but I think Donkey Kong is a better game. Donkey Kong sucks. You know what? You suck. I'm kidding. I just wanted to do that.
There's another option though for Ghost. I mean, if you're in that position, chances are you've got a Xanadu Blood. I've sat at 15th all day with my MILF Xanadu Blood Houndstooth.
Do we have something about Xanadu Blood right
here? And then bring in all your rebels as all your reinforcements and just build synergy. They're pretty much forced to go for HT until HT taunts.
Well, if we're just talking rebels, I mean,
no, I'm just saying that it's an option. If you have an undergeared Ghost, chances are your Xanadu Blood has been worked on to unlock MILF. So
true.
That's an option whilst you're working on. It's not a final solution, but it could serve as a temporary one.
Okay.
Yeah, because if they get through Houndstooth and get rid of that taunt, the Xanadu Blood hopefully be stealth, so they'll have to focus on another ship. Or actually, if you're using Xanadu.
Well, if you got Ghost and Phantom in there, Phantom, if Ghost takes any hits, is going to taunt.
Right, but if you have like a really undergeared Phoenix, like there's a clear difference. If you're gear 8-ish, 9-ish, average Ghost is going against a fully maxed out Ghost, your Ghost doesn't stand a chance. The opposing Ghost hits a lot harder than yours. If you don't have it, you can use Xanadu Blood, and it will be stealth. And you can't target the Millennium Falcon, so they have no choice but to keep focusing on Houndstooth, even if it doesn't have that taunt.
And it's breaching, so it will retain the taunt.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion, man. Like the short term while you guys develop your ghost, that's a great suggestion. Yeah.
If you had to pick one warrior for them to go for first, Ghost Crew or Phantom Crew, which one are you going with?
Both simultaneously. Again, why would we pick and choose? This is like that previous question about which ship should I farm. You farm them all. If your choice is two, you farm two. Like you can do a lot of stuff simultaneously. I'm farming all 6 units at the same time, and I'm farming both ships at the exact same time. So the thing is you get bottlenecked in the game. Yeah. It's going to happen, guaranteed. When you get bottlenecked, then development stalls and you can, finish other people or whatever. And as gear comes in, you can start to place it where it's glowing. But, there's no reason to not try and develop those 6 together, not only for Emperor Palpatine and Thrawn, but for ships. And once you've got Emperor Palpatine and Thrawn at 7 stars, you should still be looking at them, even if they're not your favorites, and looking at them to see whenever you do a raid, go down to them and see if there's something glowing and something you can apply to them to kind of continue passively moving them up to eventually gear 11. And by the way, with crew members, people always ask, well, should you take them to gear 12 and all of that? Yes, there is some advantage to getting to gear 12 with some additional, speed and things like that you can add, but the most critical component for free-to-play or Dolphins is actually just gear 11, because their crew power unlocks the last node at gear 11, and the ship powers are really the most important part of the ship. The speed helps, but it's not the end-all be-all with a lot of the ships, especially that a lot of those ships have functional purpose, and you need to have that last bit of synergy. So sometimes just getting them to gear 11 is sufficient for the majority of people.
Okay. I don't know if you would agree with this. I know you said both. I think I would say go with the Ghost first over Phantom, because Ghost tends to be in your starting lineup, and Phantom's real thing is really the reinforcement and getting something in off the bench a little bit quicker. So I feel like your Phantom can be a little bit weaker and still do what it needs to by bringing in more ships off the bench. But if you have Ghosts in the starting lineup and everyone can see that you have a weaker Ghost, or your Ghost just can't survive as long, that worries me more than a weaker Phantom coming off the bench. I don't know if you see it.
Yeah, I like Phantom. I like the Phantom just because most people are automatically going to work on Ezra for raids and for Jedi teams and all that, and so kind of lean in on what you're doing. So, and plus Phantom can flood the field with the reinforcement. It's one of the best reinforcements in the game. So I'm of that mind that you're probably going to have a really, really good Ezra of all of the Phoenix, and so that ship is a good lean in, because you're probably already there with 1/3 of the crew members. And side note, it's cultic to have 3 people in one ship. That's just terrible.
Agreed.
I don't know, Warrior, if you remember how difficult it was to gear the 3 members, the Phoenix members for Ghost. But on my second account, I'm stuck on all 3 members on gear 9 or gear 10. And they all need the MK5 stun gun that needs the 50 stun guns and the 50 Carbantes, and they need 2 of them apiece, and it is a tough grind.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm stuck on gear 6 on my alt account. So
Warrior's got it's a hard knock life for Scissor. It's a hard knock life. If you guys have not watched Warriors Scissorman stuff, then you need to go check that out. It's fun to watch. I just like seeing Warriors' faces and reactions.
I just remember when he started playing it and the game crashed on him. Like 10 minutes into him starting a new account and the game crashes. Not a good look.
Warrior broke the game. I believe him.
He didn't want to rate it, or what was it? You didn't want to give the game a rating?
They said, what? How dare you? But you guys need to check that out. It is really fun stuff to watch. All right, next question. I forgot where we're at. I think we're on Ramon. Oh, yeah, we're on Ramon. This is from Apropos. For Ramon, what are the rules of thumb to mod a triumphant team for Arena? Assuming Revan is a factor.
Okay. Well, I think obviously, I mean, whenever you're talking about mods, I think speed is always going to be probably the most important thing. But besides that, when you're talking about characters that inflict debuffs, like the Sith do, I think potency is part of it too. Now, another thing is, I think you want to also stack these characters with some either offense or crit damage. So, I mean, if you're talking about a Revan team you're trying to beat, you're going to want to make sure that you have a pretty fast team, also with a really well modded Dark Bastila, especially if she's only, let's say, 4 stars or 3 stars. But yeah, I mean, I'd go speed sets with Nihilus and Traya, or crit damage sets with both. I mean, but again, I think that you're going to want to have a lot of secondary speed and also have a pretty.
Don't do it.
Why?
A fast Traya doesn't get you anything.
It gets you death.
A fast Traya gets you death?
Against Revan, yeah.
Revan's AI is set to always target Traya with his ability, and so when every Jedi attacks your Traya, your speed on Traya is not going to surpass that of Revan. So there's no point in trying to get your Traya super fast. She actually needs a lot of protection. Health doesn't really do that much because the health is diminished by percentages by Revan. So you need to make it so she can survive that initial wave of attacks. So maybe you can get off the isolate on one of the characters. I like putting it on Grandmaster Yoda usually, because then he can't distribute buffs and stuff. But
well, I run
heavy protection Traya.
I run Revan, so I mean, it's really not something that I do often is try to fight Revan teams with Traya. But I'll tell you that I can't see speed being a detriment to her, because there's other teams you have to face in Arena too. There's a lot of CLS teams out there now with Chewie and Han, and again, you're not going to be faster than Han shoots first, but I still think that you want to have a character that goes more frequently than not. So I mean, I can't endorse saying that Traya should be slow, but I understand what you're saying. So you're saying the emphasis should just be on protection.
Protection and survival. You're better off with defense sets on her.
Yeah. And
defense sets?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Defense sets with heavy protection, like protection primaries. If you can get speed on the secondaries, that's fine. But defense sets with protection primaries, and then with Bastila, she can take the beating in the first round. There is a real struggle, Riemann, with people that don't have Revan that have to fight with Treyas. It is not a pleasant fight. I'm telling you that right now. Yeah, it is not pleasant.
Bastila, Darkside Bastila made it a lot easier.
She did.
Yeah, but not much.
The change to Enfys kind of hurt, but didn't completely destroy the Maul team with Nest combo. But yeah, it's.
Although, just so you guys know, whoever runs Traya in Arena against Revan, I want you to know that Traya will isolate General Kenobi every single time and twice on Sundays.
Well, I mean, I think that if you're in a Revan heavy shard, I mean, you're understanding that you're going to drop and lose on defense. I mean, there's not.
My Revan's been dropping into the mid-20s.
Yeah, because everybody's got damn Revan.
No, because everyone has CLS.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing too, is CLS. And the other
CLS has made its journey to the top, and I'm kind of proud of old Commander Luke because he's stayed through all the metas.
He really has, if you think about it.
Well, the whole C3.
Rerun? Did he just cut out from?
He died.
No! Oh no!
No!
Oh no! Oh, he's still trying to. Oh God!
He's trying real hard to come back.
Can you hear me?
There he is!
Yes.
Yay!
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but yeah. So, yeah, I think I think that, like you said, you're right. I guess that, again, if you're speaking about Revan only, then that's Finn, put some insight there that makes a lot more sense. But I mean, I just think that you want to mod for. I'm not the type of person that changes mods every 15 minutes. So I mean, like if you're, I guess, going to be switching sets based upon the team that you're facing, then yeah. But I mean, I think if you're just going to be leaving a set of mods on your team for offense and defense, then I mean, I think that speed is going to help you out against some of the other teams too.
Yeah, I mean, my trade is so fast, and I went with sets that are protection, but speed secondaries, solid speed secondaries. But my fastest character is my Thrawn. So when I'm facing Revan, I know my trade is going to get beat on, so I've got her just super tanky. So they start beating on Traya, but I've got Palpatine in there, so they're just eating their health away, right? And then I fracture Revan and then do my thing. I'm going to lose Traya, but they're going to be so weak by the end of it that I'm just like, kill you, and I let you, I win.
How do you mod Dark Bastila?
I don't use Dark Bastila.
Okay.
If you use her, you can mod her fast.
Yes.
You can put some potency on her, and you want to make sure that she has some survival as well. She's not going to be targeted early, but you need to make sure she survives at least for a couple of rounds. And so if you have a weaker Fallen Bastila, you can make her a little bit more tankier just to ensure that she survives. And then as you get higher stars on her, you can slowly start to maybe move her a little bit more towards speed and potency if you really need to. But still, it's just a survival game. Same thing if you have EP as your fifth on that team. Because usually the fourth after the Triumvirate is Thrawn.
I'm curious, is anybody seeing any Revan teams with Juhani as the tank instead of Kenobi?
I really wanted to try her, but she did not work for me. And I couldn't figure out exactly why, because I thought she was going to replace Kenobi. I'm waiting until I get her 7 stars and maybe it's going to change it up a little bit. But I really thought she was going to place Kenobi in that team so you could use Kenobi with a Qui-Gon Jinn or even a Resistance team. But I was disappointed because I was pretty enthused about Juhani. Didn't work out.
I blame Finn.
Yeah, Finn probably messed it up.
Yeah. All right,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you always are. Next question for our boy Mike from Apropos. Let's see. No, and Andre Schumann. Question: what are your current priorities for farming? Emo Bastila? Question mark. What's your priorities for farm?
Yeah, everything that I can. I've got a pretty well developed roster. So I'm farming, Bastila Fallen. She's 4-star, so I'm working on getting her 5-star. Canderous, 2 ships. I'm really into. So yeah, B28 and ETA2. They're on refresh farms. I'm so pleased to be able to farm ETA at last.
Yeah, I'm farming ETA with Lando because Lando doesn't use up all your energy, and by the time the refreshes come around, but it's L3. I'm finishing Lando. I'm working on Jango and Bosca's ship as well, and then I've got Bastila Fallen and Canderous in the rotation now as well because, well, they came free to play, and as soon as they did, I'm like, wee.
Yep, on it. Definitely. I'm also, I think it's great that quite a lot of ships which have large impacts, shall we say, are on lower nodes and therefore accessible to free to play, all the way as well. I think that I like how the positioning of them.
Okay. All right, let's see here. Next question. Well, it's kind of let's see, Travis Anderson. Next question for King Felix. Questions. Damn it, Finn! You keep stupid Finn. King Felix. Question from Travis Anderson. Question: Lots of speculation that we'll need Darkseid, Basti, and Candor for next month, but that's only 2 characters. Who else could we possibly need so we can prepare properly? Well,
the popular theory, I think, is Karth and Juhani will round out the 4, and then it's either a coin toss between HK-47 and Revan. And I think if it's for Darth Malik, it'll be HK-47. If it's for Darth Revan, it'll be Revan. I'm not really sure how it's going to work out, but you gotta everyone you don't have to 7 stars is a liability. In my opinion, I farm everything I don't have to 7 stars. I farm religiously until it's done.
Yeah, I had to drop a couple characters I was working on because I was working on Embo as well and Range Trooper. But
yeah,
I had to make a choice. It's like, okay, because depending on how much energy they take, but with Django and Basila, that's 320 right there. It's like, God, and I'm working on Van Damme. So between those 3 right there,
all 3 of my 50s. I spend all 3 of my 50s. Now that Canderous is in Cantina, I'm spending all 3 of my 100s, and I spend 100 of fleet to get both of the fleet that I have to get out, because I have Sith and ETA to fight or to farm. So I'm all about farming. I always have been. I think having everything to 7 stars, everything to level 85 is how you should do it. So I farm everything to its completion, but it might be slower than actually focus farming down on certain characters. But you got to watch out for this, because if it's Malik or Revan coming, something is going to happen for the Sith, and your Revan might not be able to handle it.
All right. Next question from What Else 73 for our man, Scissor Man Warrior. For Warrior, how much longer before your pillars come out that we're all itching to see? People are really asking about those pillar systems, man. Those pillars.
Yeah, I've got 9 videos for that I'm working on. It's kind of a series, and it's just a lot of work. So I really want to bring it out. I really want to bring it out like yesterday, but personal life, I'm moving from one house to another. I don't know if you've ever done that, but that's super fun. So
no, I've never moved before.
Yeah, and then I'm in the Martin Luther King Jr. sale. I don't know. I'm always in the sale because life sucks and people have to buy stuff apparently. But yeah, so I work this whole weekend, and so it's just really hard for me to find enough time to carve out to do something more than just a superficial video. That's why I throw out videos on like Arena or Ships Arena or this or that, because I can carve out but it's really hard. I spent 4 days last week working on the pillar system. I have it completed. I have my, the whole thing laid out. I'm really happy with the final product, but I have to kind of put it now to a video. And so it doesn't have to be like, super amazing graphically or anything, but I don't want it to also be trash either because it will be highly viewed. So just carving some time out for that. I'm hoping to have it out before February is my goal. In fact, I have all 9 videos done. So that way, when I officially start like my major move in February 4th, I'll be able to just have videos to release during that time because I really won't be able to make any videos during that time. So I'm really hoping to have it all done before February 4th.
There you go. Kane77 has a question, but I think we kind of covered this in the last one. He says, I've dropped everything I'm doing to farm Hot Topic and Canderous. Do you think they will be needed in February? And what else should I add to that? We just kind of answered that. You need
Hot Topic.
But yeah, we think the other 2 characters are going to be needed as well. So King, was answered previously. Pretty much. And the next question and our last question from Darth Skywalker, and then we'll get to some fun questions. Question for you, Shills. What are the best 5 bounty hunter Zetas?
The best 5?
Yes.
Let's
start with Boss.
Yep. I would say both the Boss.
Yep.
His lead obviously makes the whole team. And then his unique it makes it even tougher, especially on like Territory Wars defense. Anytime we go up against someone that doesn't have double Zeta Boss, that's a easier kill. So I would say those 2 to start with. Boba's is kind of further down the list. I don't know. What do you think, Ranger?
Well, I think you've hit those. I
think Boba's third.
Yeah, I like Django more as well.
No, Django lead, right? Not Django unique?
No, just his lead. I think some people like Ors. I would like to put Ors in there just for PvE purposes. It's really good. And if I had to add another one for another character, I would say Embo. It's not
really not Dengar.
No, you don't.
What about 88, man?
No.
Oh.
No. Don't do that.
I love IG88.
I do too, but he's so.
Yeah, he's very, very squishy.
I mean, if you fart in the wind, he goes to sniff of it.
One turn with
he
it.
explodes.
He's like Palpatine before the rework. He's like Wedge.
Oh my god,
it's rough. It's rough to try and sit through, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even. I think I pulled him for my territory war team because the team that I want to run. Eventually, I'll get all the bounty hunters done, but I keep getting pushed back when they keep these other characters popping that I got to farm. But it's like I'm sticking with it because I'm going to do Django. I already did Embo and Django to 5-star, but I want to get Django to 7 stars. But he's already in my lineup because I just think he's a great addition to the bounty hunters for what he does. But yeah, if I had to pick Zetas, those would be it. Definitely Bosk. Boba Fett's 1, Django's 1, I think Embo's 1, and then Orsing. The other ones are nice, but I don't think you need them. And
I have Django's lead done because for a while
it's nice.
It's pretty good, and I like it. But I didn't have. I need one more bounty hunter to gear 11. I'm just not sure who it's going to be between Cad Bane and Aurra Sing because I really don't want to do either of them.
I mean, my goal is to have the old bounty hunters working together. And the clone.
My goal is that they add more bounty hunters.
Hey, with the Mandalorian, you may get your wish, homie.
Hey, I'm trying.
But I want to have them all done because I think it'd be cool to have 2 teams. You can leave your boss team on defense and then go rock with a Django team on offense to take out.
Yeah, my Embo's almost done. He's gonna slide into the Django. He's a really good
character.
Yeah, I like him.
He regens protection.
I think I need to put a Zeta on him to make him actually pop, but. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. All right. Fun questions. DSP question: can the panel shame at Grim? He comes on here to talk about farming for Revan every day, and won't be ready? Grim. Is this true, Grim?
It's not that hard, bro.
You get in there, you farm those old Republic characters, Grim. You do it right now.
Well harder.
Oh God.
Hey, for the record, I have not spent money since about the month before Jedi Knight Revan came out, and I have many thousands of crystals saved.
Yeah, I've got. How many do I have right now? I'm saving all my crystals. I'm not spending them. Nothing. I have 11.2k crystals right now, so I'm gonna save up to I hit that 30,000 plateau because I just know.
You know, once you decide to not spend any of the crystals, it's actually really easy to save them.
Yeah, I mean, I spend 50. On refreshes for energy. That's it. I don't.
So I do the refreshes don't count. I'm talking about gear and or shards.
Right.
Refreshes don't count. Those are normal crystal expenditures.
Okay. Question from Grim.
Oh wait, no. Dana's upset with Grim now.
Oh, what?
He said, "Yell at Grim. Harass him for me."
What? What happened?
How dare you, Grim?
Because Grim is in Dana's guild.
Oh, what?
You know what you should do is have Kyrie record something shaming Grim.
That's what you have to do, Dana. I will play it on the stream. Record something about Grim not farming the Old Republic and being ready for Revan, and I will put that on the lunch stream.
It's gonna be a gangster rap.
Oh God, Kyrie doing a gangster rap would actually be pretty funny.
It's gonna be like Eazy-E, isn't it?
She's I don't think I want Kyrie going straight out of Compton, crazy. No, don't do that, Kyrie.
I think it'd be legit. We'll put it on the mature channel.
We don't have the mature channel anymore. Go listen.
Where'd it go?
We got rid of it.
Oh man, I've been out of the game for too long.
Yeah. There's a lot of changes in the world of the community. All right, Grim has a question for Ranger from moi. What would you do if there was a Macros Robotech game that was like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Well, first a little pee would come out of me, and then I would smile, and then I would play the hell out of it. Next question.
What's Macross?
I don't want to talk to you right now, Finn. You disgust me. Next question for
Wait,
Ranger.
why?
You don't know what Robotech is? Macross Plus?
So I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
Both
No
of you
idea what
are
that is.
communists. Get the hell away from me, all of you.
I'm not a communist. I just don't like technology.
You're sick.
That much.
You're sick. All of you. You're sick. Just get away from me.
I think the fact that I haven't seen it makes me not a communist.
No, I think it makes you pretty much a communist. All of you. Shameful. Just
Now
shameful.
I think Finn is a communist, but I'm not. So
I can go with that. So what is it?
We still don't know what it is.
Yeah. Just go. Just look up Robotech. Yeah.
Good old Maurice doesn't know what it is either. I think
no idea.
you're the
Never heard.
minority here, Ranger.
God damn! A bunch of damn. I feel like.
Awesome. Yeah.
hold on, I'm googling.
Oh my dear.
I personally feel like a better person for not knowing what it is.
No, you've been deprived.
Is it a car manufacturing plant?
You know what? You English limey.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Robotech stuff, and I'm thinking probably not. Let's get a better game going.
Oh God, Mike.
I would like everyone to say goodbye to Mike. He will no longer be joining us on the Jedi Academy. Last day on the panel. I just want him to yell at me. This is not fair. How can you kick me out because I haven't seen Robotech? Take a seat, Brit.
I can't because I'm laughing too much.
Take a seat, Master Hunt.
All right.
I like how What Else 73 is like, how do you not know what Robotech is? Were you all cryo freeze in the 80s? I was just being born in the 80s.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what else? I'm kind of young. I wasn't alive for the 80s. It's my fault. I meant to be born earlier. I'm sorry.
I discovered alcohol in the 80s. That's
Yeah,
my
Mike, you're older.
simple
You're older than I. How do you? Well, you were in England. Never mind. That's true. They didn't really have it there.
England is 5 years behind, Ranger. You got to realize that.
That's true.
They just discovered Justin Bieber.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, lucky you. God, I want to go to England. Jesus.
Yeah, but they have another 5 years of fame for him too. So what you want to do is move to England, and then as soon as something gets popular, you move back to the U.S. You won't have to hear it no more.
Warrior, have you ever heard of Robotech? Did we lose Warrior?
I've been around since the 70s, but I have to say, sadly, I have not.
I am so...
Ranger, it feels like everyone's against you here.
Well, yeah, but I'm looking at chat, and I feel my heart is very much in joy.
You're the dog.
Ranger, I've watched Robotech.
Thank you, Shills.
Warrior, do you remember the 70s ad for Fiat where the robots built the cars? That's what's going through my mind.
What the hell is that?
Nope, I don't.
Oh my God. All right, let's go to the last. Okay, question for Ranger from Hellenix. Oh, Lord.
Another one for you.
I unlocked a 5-star MILF. I spent very few resources on my any 4 bounty hunter ships. Want to know how little I invested in them. After the show, head over to my... No. Oh, my God. He's doing his same self-promotion. He did it again. I'm not finishing this, Hellenix.
Did he?
If you saw this in chat, then go check out his channel.
I definitely didn't spend anything on the bounty hunter ships either, and I was able to get to 5 stars. But I've been really lucky with Xanadu Blood's farming, so that's probably why. And I'm not trying to get 6 stars either because that would take me crystals, and I'm not about to do that.
No. And then around the corner, last question: what would be the best quality of life change you would want to see added to the game immediately? Well, let's start from Warrior and work our way down. I'll just call it your name, Warrior. What's a quality of life thing that you want to add to the game immediately?
Man, shoot.
Just one.
There's been so many that I wanted that they ended up doing. I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything at this very second. So let's brainstorm and something will come to my head.
Okay. Well, Shields, anything for you?
I would like Grand Arena to be constant, like all the time.
I like that one because I'm a fan of Grand Arena.
It's very competitive. Like Squad Arena is not quite as competitive because of the different reasons. But Grand Arena is really fun. If that could be, all the time, I think that would almost replace Squad Arena. Really,
they'd have to change the rewards. If you want to make it like a
the rewards aren't very good anyway.
Well, you get crystals and
I mean, the rewards are subpar. I would actually, in my opinion, Grand Arena is the funnest part of the game now, and they haven't had one for like what 2 weeks.
After what they did at Territory Wars, I can't argue with you. So
the band was terrible. That should be my quality of life chain is no more banning characters on Territory Wars from a vote that you don't even know if it's being accurately represented.
Right. I just love all the people that don't check the forums and stuff. They're like, poll change.
Ooh,
I can't use my Revan.
I forgot about this. The fact that they didn't just you know how when a character is defeated or already used, they read it out, so you can't use it anymore. Mm-hmm. Instead, they shut down the game and make you restart it because you didn't look at every single character they banned. That almost made me stop playing because that just bothered me so much. I know it's something little, but it bothered me so much I almost stopped playing the game.
All right. What about you, Ramon?
Ramon.
My Ramona.
He's on mute. You're on mute, Ramon. If
you're talking.
I think he sent a message saying he was going to be right back.
Oh yeah, he's BRB.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We'll go to the limey turd, Mike. What do you have to say? Quality of life.
Hey, Bubba.
You heard me, Mr. Man.
What's your quality of life choice, Mike?
Oh.
You have to be careful with Mike. 4 Galaxy of Heroes, Mike. Your quality of life changed 4 Galaxy.
Yes.
Not that you're getting sweary daughter out of the house.
Yeah, he's like both daughters out of the house.
I'd like to see an apply all in gearing. So, if you've got all 6 pieces ready to go, you can just click and apply all, and they're all there.
I like that.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, that would be...
people will mess that up.
And also, if they could fix the... when you donate and you find someone else has already completed it, and then you have to restart the game bug because it's still there, and it's that one's frustrating. Anything where you have to switch, close the game down and restart it.
Can I ask something about the donate to the rest of the panel? I'm not sure if this actually works, but if you get some of the lower gear pieces where you can donate 10, and I've seen some of them are 9 out of 10, and then I can donate 2. Do people get 11 or do they get 10?
They get 10.
You can only donate 1 at a time, I think.
I've been able to donate 2 when it's 9 out of 10.
Oh, you have? I haven't gotten that. Mine always just limits me to 1 if there's like 9 left.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
I'm wondering if anybody has gotten 11 out of 10 for anything.
Well, I just don't get it. If you're going to donate where you can donate 2 pieces, why would you only donate 1? I've seen 9 out of 10 as well, but who would just donate 1 of those?
Me. I'm that guy that only has 1 of those MK2 white binoculars. I have 1.
Oh, the stupid green shower drains?
I've got 1 to go, so you can have it.
I know. Really good. That stupid green shower drain.
Ranger's been requesting the Mark II back to gels for the last week.
I'm starting to run out of that stuff again. Yeah, like Findy said, I never have those. The green piece that goes with the stun guns, I never have any of those.
Well, yeah, there's certain pieces, like when I'm going, I don't always request, but I'm like, I don't want to waste crap on this. I only need I'll request it from the guild. And so
what happened to the days when people wanted the Mark IV computers? What happened to those days? I have 30 crafted. Nobody wants them.
I can't. All right, and then Ramon, did he come back yet? No. All right. Good on Maurice. The quality of life you'd like to see, buddy.
Real simple, man. Just a way for us to access our squad loadouts without having to physically start a game.
Yes.
Maybe it's because I'll do all my stuff, then I'll be like, well, I got 20 more minutes. I'll start working on squads, and I can never go. Like, I'm out of energy, and I don't have any arena battles, so I have to sit there and wait. Like, wait to look at my squad loadouts.
I have to go to Cantina to do those, and then you have to pick the leader. Mm-hmm. But you can still go to the squad loadouts. I agree. That's a good quality of life.
Those are pretty good. All right. Well, Ramon did not come back in time, so he No question for him. But we are going to...
Can I take remons?
Are you going to take the question seriously?
No.
Kind of.
No, so then no. And you didn't know what Mac...
It is a serious one. Okay. So I actually have two. Okay. But the first one, let us sort mods by level so we can find those freaking level 1 mods we keep on getting from all those stupid challenges. Like, every time I get mods, I have to scroll by color and find it like, oh, okay, where do I split between golds and purples? Okay, there's my level 1 gold. And then every time you click on it, it takes you to the top of the list again. Like, oh my god, you don't need to follow my mod every time it moves up. Like, you don't have to go into the level 12s if I take a mod to 12. So that one. And then the other one, I mentioned this before, give us that little red number on the challenge table so we know when the hell we still have challenges left. There's been too many days now in the last week where I go in and I realize at like 11:30 at night that I still have like 3 challenges I can do. It's like, god damn it. If I'd seen that red number, I would have clicked on it. They put a red number freaking everywhere else. I have a red number right now on my events table, and I can't do anything else on the Millennium Falcon, but that red number is still freaking there.
It bothers me. That's what bothers me about the red numbers on all the ships and the characters. I'm like, yes, I know I have these mats, but I don't want to use them on these characters.
Aha. And were anything quality of life? Did you think of anything before I start letting everybody pimp their stuff?
I would love to be able to turn on or turn off those notifications, the little red glowing stuff. It'd be nice if there was a switch that, you know, for notifications, in-game notifications, and if you switched it off, it actually turned all the glowing off. My OCD, it bothers me really bad to have stuff glowing incessantly, and you can't ever cleanse it. You know?
Very nice.
And I think Ramon is back.
Ramon?
So we're talking about quality of life updates for the game here?
Yeah, one quality of life that you'd want to put in immediately.
I mean, if nobody mentioned this already, I'd love a testing mode or a sandbox mode in the game, like some place where we can just kind of try out 3v3 teams. And
it's not going to happen, Ramon.
No, I know that's not going to happen. You know, believe me. I mean, we've asked them for this for almost 2 years now, but. But yeah, it's one of those things that I've just always wanted to have in the game, and I think it would be probably the most beneficial, just not the most cost-effective for them, I guess, unless there was some sort of crystal return or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh well, we can just hope and pray. All right, so that's the Jedi Academy for today. Now we're gonna let everybody pimp their stuff. I just want to remind everybody as they are pimping their stuff that check out their channels. Make sure you watch their videos. View time count. Give them thumbs up. Subscribe. If they have Patreon, check out all their stuff, guys. These guys come in here on their own time, on their own dime to answer your questions. This is a community. We want to support one another, so check out their stuff. And with that being said, we'll start from the top of the list. Warrior, where can folks check you out, homie? What do you got going on?
They could find me on Twitter at Warrior Present, and they might want to do that because my free-to-play account, I've been putting on daily updates as kind of my progress, what I did. Like last night, I ended up hitting level 50. I kind of stayed up till 11 o'clock at night because of the changeover, and was able to basically do 2 level ups in one day by doing that instead of waiting till the next morning. And I hit mods, and I was able to unlock mods. Sadly, I found out that mods are very, very tiered. Just like everything in the game, can't just get 5-dot mods right off the bat, which is probably for the better for everyone on my leaderboard. But yeah, so follow my progress on Twitter at Warrior Present. I'm on, obviously, YouTube. I have 2 channels, Warriors Roster Reviews, which are for roster reviews, and Warrior Presents, which is for every other bit of content. I do more than just Star Wars, but obviously Star Wars is my primary and first, priority. And then I'm also on the Facebook page, as you are as well. And so people can chat with me kind of freely there as well.
If you guys are not on the Facebook, listen, I hate Facebook, but I'll tell you what, I don't say much on there. I just like to read it because there's such great stuff being put out there. If you've not checked out the Facebook page, please do. It's 60,000, 70,000 people. Oh, it's ridiculous. But for Galaxy Heroes community, and it's a great source of information and just fun. There's some funny stuff in there that, you know, when I go there and I look, I just start cracking up. I'm like, who came up with this? That's great. So
I like to see Warrior on there arguing with people.
I
who
know.
think
I was about to say that.
I've trolled Warrior a couple times on there. I don't think he knows it's me, which is what I like. I've trolled him on there a couple of times, saying he doesn't know anything.
He does now.
But yeah, but he's not sure he knows my real name, so it's okay.
I get a lot of people that say coy things, and I'm pretty sure that they're viewers and whatnot. But there are a lot of ignorant people on there too, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a they don't know who I am way. And so when I make a comment or something, they're like, "You don't know what you're talking about," and I just kind of get giddy and kind of.
You just made me want to create an alt Facebook account and Honeypot Warrior on Facebook.
You should do.
You know?
Yeah. Well, there's like Reddit has their trolls, Facebook has their trolls. I just know who the trolls are in Facebook, and so I know who to ignore and who to kind of have some fun with.
All right.
I see Warrior on Facebook shutting people down hard, and I love it.
I know.
When he uses facts to people's ridiculousness, it cracks me up. Something fierce.
So if you suddenly see a Nomer trolling you, that's not Remon. Just remember.
No more Baza.
I don't know why that's so funny when it is.
Don't say that 3 times.
Yeah.
Get it together, man. That's it. I'm just kidding.
All right. So while Ranger is losing it over there, Mr. Nomer, how about you pimp yourself?
No, Ranger beat himself again.
You can find me. You can find me on YouTube at Ramona Zob or on Facebook as Nomer Baza. Trolling Warrior. But yeah, no, we have a weekly live show on Sunday nights with my compatriot good old Maurice, and we'll be on tomorrow night, ready to rock and roll. So you guys should definitely come check it out, and looking forward to next week's Jedi Academy.
Yeah, I try to be on the Remon's show. It's so late at night, and I've got schoolwork right now, so I won't be on as much here. But I'll try to sneak one in here as best I can. But I'm so slim with schoolwork at that point. So, but I love being on there with those guys. It's a fun show. Check that out. Oh God, Mike, anything you want to pimp?
First and foremost, I'll admit that I troll Warrior on YouTube. I just peed a little after watching his lead up to MILF launch and seeing that in action with the devs footage in that. But yeah, I've got a channel, Mike Hunt, SWGOH. Lots of ship stuff. Suddenly, that Mace meta really disillusioned me. It was such a chore trying to get through it all. It was the GK Zaris of ships, and it was woeful. But now I have my MILF. I'm having fun again, and I'm doing a lot of recording. Yeah, hop on by, have a look. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Good old Maurice.
Hi, I'm good old Maurice. I am half of.
Hi, good old Maurice.
Hello. I'm one half of Operation Metaverse, T-Money being the other, a panelist on this great show all the time. We stream Tuesday nights, 9:30 EST, all sorts of Star Wars, Galaxy of Heroes goodies. We do have our next Patreon workshop January 24th, so if you guys are interested in attending workshop, showing you all the finer details and how to mod a couple specific teams for Grand Arena and Territory Wars, just check out our Discord page, check out our YouTube, and yeah, everyone have a good weekend.
Absolutely. King Felix, any shout outs you want to do?
I would like to say that I have finally gotten every character to level 85. That was a big thing for my OCD. I know it's not the best for Grand Arena or Territory Wars, but I couldn't not do it. So that's my shout out for myself. And other thing is watch all of these people who came on today to do their to come on RSG, and they're got their own YouTubes. Make sure you like and subscribe to all of these guys: Warrior, Remon, RSG, and Mike Hunt. Even though Mike Hunt doesn't do audio for any of his videos. Good old Maurice's Metaverse. I love it. You know, and support Warrior's mattress store. If I was in Colorado, I'd definitely buy my bed from him.
That's right, damn it. Go buy mattresses from Warrior in the greater Colorado Springs area.
I almost drove through Colorado when I came to Kentucky to buy a mattress from him just because it was him.
That's... As long as I get the friends and family discount.
Yeah, I just want that pillow top. Warrior, what's up?
And then, Shields, anything you want to pin or say?
Sure. Well, first, Finn Ranger, thanks for having me. It was a blast as always.
Of course.
You know, if you guys haven't been listening to the stream or new to the stream, subscribe, like, so you guys can see future content from RSG. They do a lot of live streams daily, like every day except Sundays. So
no,
check
we
them out.
stream Sundays. It's just D&D.
Oh, okay. So
we have a little problem
every single day.
We're doing. It's gonna get worse here soon.
All the other guys on here, the Game Changers, YouTubers, Ramon, Warrior, good old Maurice, get with them, watching their videos, you know, listening to them. They have all kinds of good advice and tips and tricks. So yeah, definitely. And again, I'm Shill's Ghost from Mighty Chlorians, the Guild Mighty Chlorians. We're a big community. If you guys are looking for maybe a hardcore guild environment, reach out to Ranger, give him a shout out, and he'll get you hooked up. So
I've done a lot of recruiting. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
All right, and if you're watching this on RSG. I do want to do a shout out for one of our Jedi Academy people that comes on here once in a while, Xylo Takedown. He has a new video up. He wanted me to pimp. He's working a lot. He's taking care of my apprentice. So he's been a little busy being a papa. So
yeah, but he always requests the Gear 12 gear in the guild, and I just don't have that to give him. So
well, that's between you and him. I don't bring that crap here. But he's got a new video out. Ships and Chimera countering Han's Falcon. So if you want to see that, he's got it up right now. So check that out. I just wanted to give him a quick shout out. And if you're watching this, again, guys, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, check out our Patreon. All the proceeds we get, we use right back into the stream to do a lot of the cool stuff that you guys are seeing us do. We're expanding to new games. We're doing more streams. All the content that you see is because of the Patreon supporters. So if you'd like to become a Patreon supporter, please do. And not just us, guys. Check out these other videos. I can't stress that enough. I mean, these guys are amazing. They come here to answer your questions. So show some love and support. And Finn, we're doing the ACS stuff. Anything you want to add for the ACS stuff?
Be on the lookout for a bunch of new stuff this coming week.
Ooh.
We have a few things we're going to try and get on there. There's going to be different rewards, probably some more challenges. I mean, so be on the lookout for that this coming week, and we'll make some more announcements on our lunch hour stream and on our Wednesday night stream.
Creamy. All right. So on behalf of myself and the Jedi Academy, thank you for all being here. Have a great rest of your weekend. You'll see us tomorrow. We're going to be streaming the D&D campaign. We got some new stuff to show for the D&D campaign. I'm excited. Me and Finn have been busting our ass. So please be on the lookout for that tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. With that, everyone have a great rest of your day. Come join us in our Discord whenever you feel like it, and we will holler at you later. Peace.